Hey everybody, it's Friday, February 5th, 2021. Thank you for joining me. Hope everyone had a good week and has a good weekend. We're going to put out some reports over the weekend as well, but happy Friday to everybody. Now, I wanted to go over some news here, touch on a couple topics. We're going to look at the markets. Also, a quick update. I finally got my stimulus card. I believe it was Tuesday. I forgot to mention that because I did a video on that a couple weeks ago, telling everybody how late these cards were, these stimulus cards. And I was supposed to get mine. It was supposed to have been sent out back on January 6th, and here we are early February. So mine was a month late. So if you're still waiting on your card, hang in there. You may still get your card if you're waiting for it. Now, what I did with my card, I put it away, and I'll probably go out and buy some more silver with it. There's also a couple cryptos that I've upped my position in right now. And I just want to try to put the money to work, because if you just leave it sitting in your checking account, it's just going to devalue as prices continue to rise. Just sitting in cash, is not a very good strategy. I believe that everyone should have some cash, because you don't want to be completely at the mercy of if something bad happens. You want to have a little bit of an emergency fund, right? So 6-month living expense is good. In my opinion, that's what I do. But I try not to keep more in the bank than I really need as far as bill paying, because I think that this banking system is under a lot of stress right now, and I think there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes that could present some danger here in the very near future. And a lot is being revealed right now, if you haven't noticed that. Right now it's mostly in the stock market and how these hedge funds are basically just slaughtering, just obliterating the competition and driving company stock into the ground with naked short selling. The rules get bent for the hedge funds when they start to lose. So we see the too big to fail banking view also applied now to trading firms and hedge funds, right? Which is absolutely insane, just ridiculous, right? The game is tilted towards the house. You probably heard the term, the house always wins. Now, if you're disciplined, you can still make money in these markets. You just have to sit and wait for the right opportunities. I've given you my position right now. I live here in San Diego. I would not be going into any investment property right now. Some people are. Some people think that if they don't buy now, prices are just going to go higher to infinity. That's not my view. I still think we're going to see massive changes in the banking structure, in the system, and I think we're going to see deflation and corrections. We always do. The bubbles always burst. It's just a matter of when. All right, but one of the frequent topics here is who's getting rich and who's gaining the most wealth. Well, we know the game's tilted again towards the house. The house always wins, and the top 10% are doing better than ever. And that's why when we looked at what's been happening over the past 4 years, I was not upset when the current administration or the previous administration exited and a new administration came in. Am I thrilled about the new administration? No, because there's nothing new that's being discussed to really try to help the everyday American, and there's nothing new being discussed to try to tilt the fairness back towards the average working person. All right, but let's take a look at this. And this was a recent article, and we've always talked about how the top 10% own about 80% of stocks. Well, now it's even worse. And here is a chart that really breaks it down. Now it's 88%. All right, so even here more recently, the rich continue to get richer. And when this type of wealth gap occurs, typically the empire, in this case the American empire, doesn't last much longer. All right, and this already went way beyond what most so-called experts had predicted. All right, so how much further is it going to go, right? That is the question, and the longer it goes, it's fine with me, because it gives me more time to prepare, right? More time to position myself. The American empire will collapse. It's already beginning to collapse. When you have this many people that are reliant on payouts and assistance and support and free housing or delays in housing payments, which probably a lot of these people that are behind will never ever get caught up, right? It's going to have to be permanent assistance. This is a house built out of Jenga blocks, right? This economy, the American empire, is a house built out of Jenga blocks, and it's only a matter of time before it comes down. All right? An event, a monkey wrench gets thrown into the gears of the banking system, equals blocks being pulled out from the foundation of the Jenga structure. All right? There's no way we're not going to see this thing come crashing down. Now, when people hear crashing down, they automatically think deflation, falling prices. Well, no, even if prices rise, you're still going to see the standard of living come crashing down, especially for the people that are already struggling. So come crashing down doesn't mean deflation or falling or crashing prices, crashing markets. Maybe it'll be an inflationary crash, right? When prices rise beyond what people can afford, you see the standard of living crash. Look at what happened in these hyperinflation countries. Look at Venezuela. Right? So either way, deflation, inflation, hyperinflation, stagflation, there's no easy way out of this. So you need to hedge yourself, you need to protect yourself, continue to accumulate assets. I think you've got to be active in investing in these markets, otherwise you're going to get left behind. Unless you have a very, very minimalist lifestyle, it's very difficult to keep up with the cost of living. But a lot of people are minimalists. A lot of people are living in very low-priced areas. They've had their house paid off. They don't overspend. They don't take excessive vacations. And people say, well, that's boring. You got to travel. You got to go out and spend money. You got to go to the bars and, buy $8, $10 shots at the bar. That's not always the case. You can have fun just being simple. Things that are free, just like working out, going on walks. Being with someone that you love, just hanging out. Being with your friends. Those are things that you can do at very low overhead, very low cost that are enjoyable. Right? Do what you love. Hobbies, building, arts and crafts, painting. There's so many things that you can do to occupy your time, to make yourself happy without having to go out and spend a bunch of money. Right? I talk to people, and I've actually seen people down in comments mentioning how they have zero to no stress because they don't have any bills. Some of them live in vans. Some of them went out and bought an RV to live in so they wouldn't have these huge housing costs. All right? There are times when I wish I lived in a van, believe me. High overhead can be very, very stressful. The empire will collapse. Now, that collapse may affect people in different ways. All right, but when the bubble blowers stop blowing, when the money printers stop printing, even Business Insider back in 2011 acknowledged, even the ancient Roman Empire wasn't as unequal as America today. Back in 2011, we're 10 years later, and guess what? Since then, it's got much, much worse. Right, the empire will collapse, and I hope you're prepared. Thanks for watching this report, everybody. Stay well, stay safe, stay prepared, keep preparing. Bye for now. Peace.